Last week in our King of Cooking series, we broke Revolution Synchron. I don't know how them kids do it, but I'm gonna try. I'm not doing it right now. At least I can still do this. But y'all not doing that anymore, are y'all? Your king is the best dancer. Don't worry. I'm just making you feel good about yourself.
Objection!
For the people that do not know, the cooking series is a series where we take a Yu-Gi-Oh card or strategy and we completely break the deck. This time around, your king has completely broken the King of Mythical Claws, which is pretty much just the King of Nails. All I know is since he's the King of Nails, he better be giving out discounts. I want my nail color peach and I want Squoval. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your girl. She's probably like, how does he know this? And between me and you look good in it, queen. Get the Squovals. In this video, my dedication, hard work, and patience has paid off. I have been playing the Chimera archetype since Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts. And today, I'm gonna be showing you how powerful, how much I cooked with this deck. But of course, as a part of this series, you let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think, as well as how much success have you had with the Chimera strategy? Let's jump on in. So for today's cooking series, we have to break one of Yugi's most iconic cards, retrained in Gazelle, King of Mythical Calls, and Big Body Cover Your Face Boy because you so damn ugly. I mean, guys, he literally does this in his picture. You can't get more edgy. You already know your mama would have slapped the living daylights out of you if you would have did this in your school picture. I am the coolest. But your ideal goal is to be able to summon Big Wing Baphomet to be able to search your Chimera fusion in Gazelle. And ironically, we actually have cards to be able to summon Big Wing Baphomet very easily. The new illusion monsters in the set in Mirror Swordsman allow you to summon Baphomet from your deck, and Cornfield Quattle allows you to be able to search Mirror Swordsman. I'm maxing out on these cards as they are genuinely the more important card because they literally get you into one card combo, and there's also another one card combo with this deck that you may feel a little bit indifferent about. Branded Fusion, as much as I hate it, is a one card combo in this deck. Fortunately enough, both Gazelle and Baphomet do not care about where they're being fusion summoned from. Using Branded Fusion to send either of these to the graveyard allows you to gain their effects. More specifically, Gazelle, King of Mythical Claws, to be able to search your Cornfield Qualter, which also be able to normal summon your Mirror Swordsman, which then can special summon your Baphomet and allow you to fusion summon again. So essentially, Branded Fusion is literally just a reinforcement of the army that just so happens to give you another disruption. But of course, in this cooking series, I had to get a little bit more spicy than just that. Of course, there is the Frightfur engine. This engine can come out of the main board when you're siding in some of your important cards to stop your opponent. It's amazing going second because it does put a polymerization in your graveyard for Guardian Chimera, and it also can make some of your unmanageable hands a little bit more manageable as long as you're using polymerization. Our power cards in this deck is where the deck does get a little bit more expensive. Triple Tactics Talent fortunately does get a reprint, but there's no confirmed reprint so far of Pot of Prosperity. And if you guys can't afford Pot of Prosperity, don't worry. This is a 42 card deck. You can actually cut out your Pot of Prosperities and just play another Fallen Albas. Fallen Albas will give you more fusion plays with your Branded Fusion and give you more access to your extra deck, where if you're playing Prosperity, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be banishing those cards that you have access to. I think that these power spell cards were phenomenal, but one thing that I absolutely love about this deck is that you get to play this many disruptive Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The deck is literally a one card walking combo, so the rest of your cards are pretty much for breaking boards, making boards, and stopping your opponent. With that being said, the disruption is strong with this one. I decided to play 3 Fenrir. This card is godly because it does put a body on board for Guardian Chimera and a monster in your hand for Guardian Chimera. There's also 3 draw, 3 effect Veiler over Imperm because this is a monster that I can use to fuse into a Guardian Chimera or whatnot if my opponent is not monster effect dependent. 2 Nibiru because you never would have guessed it, put a body on the field for Guardian Chimera and stops the opponent, and 3 Forbidden Droplet. This card is insane right now. Now, of course, completely understandable if you cannot afford Cash Tier Fenrir. My best form of advice is to play more hand traps, possibly even just 3 Infinite Impermanents, or max out on that 3rd Nibiru and some other hand trap monsters that could be fusion requirements for your Guardian Chimera, because that is really, really important. Speaking of such, let's get into the extra deck. For the extra deck, it's real simple. Play 1 Illusion Beast, 2 Chimera Phantom Beast, 3 Guardian Chimera, 1 Magnum Reliever. 1 Lenatus, 1 Lubellion, 1 Albion, 1 Mirror Jade, 1 Rhymebrum, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and 1 Access Code Talker. But now that we are done, let's go ahead and show you the combos before we get to the ultimate test. So the combos are really simple. The only thing you really need is Cornfield Quattro or your Mirror Swordsman Knight, which is why it's really important to get into this. What you do is you go Quattro into Swordsman, you'd summon the Swordsman, then activate its effect. You'd special summon the Big Wing Baphomet and then use its effect to get Chimera Fusion in Gazelle. And then you'll activate the Chimera Fusion. You'll fuse both of these monsters into your Chimera King of Phantom Beasts. And what you do here is extremely simple. You always want to make sure Chimera Phantom Beast is Chain Link 3. This is going to chain block you from being Ash Blossom or Ghost Belt. Big Baphomet is going to special summon the Mirror Swordsman. And then the Gazelle, King of Mythical Beasts, will search you follow-up for your next turn. We're just going to go ahead and say it's a Cornfield. From there, you're going to use the effect of your Chimera Fusion, add itself back to your hand, and this is really cool. The reason why it's so cool is because during your opponent's turn, you can use the effect of Mirror Swordsman, tributing itself to be able to summon your second copy of Big Wing Baphomet, using its effect to be able to add your second copy of Chimera Fusion and your Gazelle to your hand, and now you have a multitude of effects. If your opponent decides to try to destroy your back row with a card like Cosmic Cyclone or target any of your other cards, Cornfield Quattro can activate its effect. Also, Mirror Swordsman can negate another monster effect, and you still have Chimera Fusion to be able to fusion summon into your Guardian Chimera by using 2 monsters in your or on your field and 1 in your hand for a destruct 2, draw 1, or 2 monsters in your hand and 1 on your field to be able to draw 2, destroy 1, which is huge. Also, keep in mind, you still have the effects of Gazelle, King of Mythical Claws, as well as Big Wing Baphomet that you could use. And then on top of that, you still have your Chimera to banish, to special summon the Gazelle to add another Fiend monster or Chimera Fusion if you're playing it and if applicable. The next combo is another walking 1-card Yu-Gi-Oh combo. It's going to involve Branded Fusion. What you will do here is activate the Branded Fusion, and you'll send a Beast monster in Gazelle, King of Mythical Claws, as well as your Fallen Albats to the graveyard for material to be able to summon your Rhymbrum, the Striking Dragon. Now, since Gazelle was used as a fusion material, you can trigger its effect to be able to add an illusion monster from your deck to your hand. You can add the Quattro, discard the Quattro, get the Mirror Swordsman, you never normal summon the Swordsman, use it into your Big Wing Baphomet, and Baphomet will get your Chimera Fusion and your Gazelle. From here, you can then activate your Chimera Fusion, fusing these 2 into your Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, triggering the effect of your Big Wing Baphomet this time, not the effect of your Gazelle since you've already used it, summoning your Mirror Swordsman, then adding back your Chimera Fusion. So this time you get a little bit of a bigger board because Rhymbrum can negate a monster effect, but you do have 1 less card in your hand, which is almost inconsequential when it comes to summoning Guardian Chimera, because Mirror Swordsman can then morph itself into its Big Wing Baphomet, and then Baphomet will add a Chimera Fusion, as well as another copy of Gazelle from your deck to your hand, and voila, you have a monster in your hand to be able to fuse to make your Guardian Chimera, as well as a Rhymbrum Disruption, and other cards in your graveyard to be able to pop off with. But now it's time to put this deck to the ultimate test. We've seen some of the crazy combos and the deck list. What will the test hands reveal in this cooking? All right, big dog, this deck was built for nothing but consistency, so I expect nothing but consistency, even though these cards were pretty much pre-sorted for the deck profile and shuffled right back up. I'm really excited to be able to show you what we got. Is this big cook or is this not big cook? I think we cooking with the Gazelle, Mythical King of Claws. We're going to open Nibiru, Effect Veiler, Forbidden Droplet, Triple Tactics, Talents, and a Prada Prosperity. Thank you, Prosperity! Holy, it's the reason why we play it sometimes. Overall, even going second, this would be an incredible hand. We have Double Disruption, we have Tactics for the follow-up, Drop It, and our 6th card would have been Chimera Fusion. Not so cool, but still we would have been able to do a lot of things on top of that with the Prosperity. Let's just say we're going first and we drained our opponent's board with an Effect Veiler and a Nibiru, so this will be our hand. I'm going to go ahead and activate Prosperity here, and my normal targets for here is going to be Mirror Jade, Albion, Lubellion. We're not playing against a dragon deck, so Lenatus can go. And the reason why I'm getting rid of these is because I only played 1 Outbass, so outside of my first Branded Fusion, it's pretty much useless. I can also get rid of a Sussy Code and sometimes the Illusion Beast, because with Prosperity, odds are this card's not going to be able to hit for game. So let's go ahead and see our 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap. 6! Holy, we're safe. We're safe. We're safe. Thank you, Prosperity. I'm going to get the Mirror Swordsman, and as you can see, through hand traps, we still have our combo. Normal summon Mirror Swordsman, morph it into our Bephermit. And the cool thing about this is that even if our opponent wants to respond with a hand trap like Effect Veiler, we can go Droplet, and we can discard the cards from our hand and get rid of the Beckwing Bephermit, and still be able to pull something off because we still have tactics to draw and whatnot, and gain the effect of our Beckwing here. But obviously, that wouldn't be the most optimal, so we'll go Bephermit into Gazelle in our Chimera Fusion, and then we'll go Chimera Fusion, fuse these two, normal combo, guys. We'll summon the Chimera, trigger the effect of both of our monsters, so we'll bring back Mirror Swordsman, and then we'll add the Quaddle to our hand. And as you can see, we can go for quite some damage here. And we're still on a 5-card hand. Not to mention that if our opponent did have a monster effect, we can triple tactics to take their monster and potentially even just fuse into a Guardian Chimera, which would not be able to activate its effect because we Prosperity. Remember that. You cannot do that, but there's other monsters like Magnum Reliever that you can summon and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and show another one, just showing you how important Pot of Prosperity can be from time to time. But granted, we could have made some other combos with Polymerization and Albaz in that particular hand sequence. So not the end of the world, and that's why if you guys can't afford Prosperity, I strongly do recommend that you maybe up that Albaz engine just a little bit. But let's go ahead into hand number 2. Droplet, Nibiru, Branded Fusion, Polymerization, Effect Veiler. Sometimes you get hands like this. As you can see, in this particular hand, we would obviously lose to a card like Ash Blossom, but we would have a lot of follow-up ourselves. But let's say we're going second, and again, we're just going to go ahead and say that these cards pretty much knocked my opponent's board down, but they were still able to build. This card is incredible, and allow me to explain why. We'll go Catch Tira Finra into a Figure. Now, anytime they try to check any of our card effects, we can use Finra to be able to banish. We'll go Branded Fusion again here. We'll send the Gazelle, and we will send the Albaz from the deck to the graveyard. Boom and boom. We'll summon Reinbrum, and the reason why I like this deck in going second, I think that it's a really, really good going second deck, is because cards like Finra and Reinbrum are amazing at being able to check some of your opponent's most important cards. And now Gazelle's effect activates. We still have not committed our normal summon. We'll go into Mirror Swordsman. We'll morph the Mirror Swordsman into the Big Wing and add these two from our deck to our hand. And holy crap, look at this. We have a ton of combos, and we still have not even activated a card like Prosperity. So drawing is 100% still on the table. In this situation, I think I would go Chimera Fusion. I would fuse these two into my Chimera King of Phantom Beast. I'll trigger both, well, just the effect of my Big Wing Bephermit and my Chimera to Phantom Beast. That will allow me to summon Mirror Swordsman and discard a card from an opponent's hand. And then from here, we can actually just go Polymerization and fuse these three into a Guardian Chimera, which will allow me to destroy more cards on the field and draw an additional card. We don't need the Prosperity, but this time around, we actually have a very, very, very strong board here. And I think that this is enough to be able to take our opponent out of their position of power and potentially even go for game. So that's really, really cool how this deck operates. But here's the moment of truth, guys. Can I show you something even stronger? I think I've fixed the consistency issues. I think we can do something really, really cool here. Sorry about that, guys. We had a technical difficulty with this beautiful mat. By the way, go to TheCaliEffect.com to pick up your Yu-Gi-Oh! Generations mat today. But I'm going to be showing you the third and final hand. Holy, this time around, we're going to say we're going first this time. And I'm going to hope that we get something really, really good. Let's see if we're cooking. We're already cooking, my boys. We get the Finra, we get the Patchwork, we get the Quaddle, we get the Drop, and we get Hole. Holy. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, this is probably, this is it. This proves to be, this is an interesting scenario here. I don't even know what to say here. I mean, obviously we start off with the Finra and then use Finra to search Finra. And then we go Quaddle to search Mirror Swordsman here. And then we go Mirror Swordsman. Mirror Swordsman summons the Big Wing Baphomet to be able to add the Chimera fusion. Really, really important we get that card, as well as the Gazelle. Okay, I think we're cooking. I think we're cooking here. Like, I can save the branded fusion for last, because even if my opponent were to like Nibiru me or something, I can still end on a Reinbrum, which can negate an opponent's monster effect, and I'll have Chimera fusion to be able to add itself to the hand and still make a Guardian Chimera. So we're kind of Nibiru proof here. But from here, I'm going to go ahead and go Chimera fusion. Regardless if they Nibiru me, they're going to lose an additional card out of their hand. So this card, this card, and this card. We are going to summon back the Mirror Swordsman, and then we are going to add a Quaddle. Then, of course, I'm going to add the Chimera fusion right here. We're back to 6 cards in my hand, which is why I think drop it is just straight ridiculous. And to be honest, I'm not going to cap. I would set 2, and then I would just go to end the main if I fear Nibiru. But let's just say in the position, I don't fear Nibiru, which is kind of dangerous. I would then go Frightful Patchwork here. I would add a Gem Chain and a Polymerization. I'm then going to go ahead and go Branded Fusion. I'll send Albaz in a Dark Monster this time, my guys. You know what time I'm on. I'm actually going to go ahead and summon Lubellion here and trigger its effect. I will fuse back Albaz and Gazelle. I think, holy God, that's kind of crazy. I'm going to make the Reinbrum here. Then I'm going to use Polymerization. I'm actually going to fuse these two. Bro, for a second, I thought I was actually going to make the Mirror Jade, but nope. I'm going to go ahead and summon Magnum Reliever. And I'm actually going to relieve the Branded Fusion to the bottom of my deck to be able to draw a card. That's more cards in hand. And so here I have it. I have a yes amount of disruptions here. My opponent has 1 less card in their hand. I also have Chimera Fusion for a Guardian Chimera play. I have Rembrum for a disruption. I have Mirror Swordsman, which contribute itself on the opponent's turn. How could I be so rude and forget this card? Because I like summoning Baphomet to be able to get more fodder, like, I don't know, the second Chimera Fusion and Gazelle to discard with the droplets of fuel. And I also still have the disruptions with Mirror Swordsman, and if they target the Cornfield Quarter, I think that I been cooked with this deck just a little bit. And that's all that I have with Cooking with the King. This series is really, really fun to do. Of course, guys, let me know if I been cooked or if there's something that you would change, maybe some advice, or maybe your success with this deck. Until then, you can go ahead and check out some other amazing videos, and you already know what I'm gonna do, big dog. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.